A diamond in the rough is a diamond sure enough, for before it ever sparkled it was made of diamond stuff. But someone had to find it, or it never would be found. And someone had to grind it, or it never would be ground. But once it's found, and once it's ground, and once it's burnished bright, that diamond's everlastingly just shining out its light. I first learned that poem more than 35 years ago. It came from a former employer of mine, Tony Capps, who used to tell that poem when he would start talking to Sunday school teachers. And it's really a poem about being a teacher. So many people have the mistaken idea that teachers go through 4, 6, sometimes 8, or even 10 years of school just to be able to teach a subject. And that is not even close to accurate. We do go through a lot of school and we teach a lot of subjects, but that's not why we teach. For those of you that may not be teachers, trust me when I tell you this, that if all we were called on to do as educators was to teach a subject, to be an English teacher or to be a math teacher or a science teacher or an African studies teacher or a band teacher or whatever other subject you might be able to think of, teaching would be a pretty easy job. That's not what we do. We are handed 3, 4, 5-year-old diamonds in a rough from kindergarten to preschool, and for 12 or 13 years, teachers painstakingly, one by one, year by year, search out that diamond, burnish a bit of it here, burnish a bit of it there, until after 12 or 13 years, we begin to see who that diamond is, who that child is. During those years, during those 12 or 13 years with these kids, teachers deal with children who are homeless, children who are hungry, children who are unloved, children who are suffering from PTSD, children who have been abused in the home. And we're also dealing with children from well-adjusted families, we're dealing with kids who have a great home life, who have everything life could offer. The gamut that we deal with is astronomical. And we have these kids each and every year. As teachers, we deal with kids who are well-adjusted. We deal with kids with emotional issues. Sometimes we are the only safe space for a student who is trying to figure out who they are. We deal with students who are athletes, who are extremely bright and pushing themselves to always be at the top of their class. And we deal with kids who have spent years in the school system being overlooked and left behind and struggling academically. We deal with them all. And sometimes we have all of those students in one classroom. These are things that people don't understand about educators. They don't understand that we don't really work in classrooms every day. We go deep into the diamond mines and we look for diamonds in the rough because they're diamonds sure enough. And every night when we go home to our families, we go home to our wives, our husbands, our children, our significant others. We go home to grade papers. We go home to try to find some bit of rest or peace. We take all these kids with us every day. And then the next day, we make a choice to go back and do it again. So if you're wondering in today's time if you've ever met a hero, the question is, have you ever met a teacher? We'll see you next week.